Good morning, Wesley here from the Mental Awareness Foundation, and we are doing our Under the Radar series, our first for 2017. Can you believe we're here? I have the amazing Paul Farmer here from Mentoris, and I guess today's chat is, talking about mindfulness, but mental health, but within the workspace. So I'm taking a majority of us work. Well, I do, you do.
Yeah, me too.
And I guess having a good mental health perspective is not just within your personal life, but it's also within your work life too, because we actually do spend a lot of time at work. So Paul and I actually have met each other through a business networking group, BNI, and we've just gotten to know each other over, I guess, the year, or actually even a little bit longer. And you can't help but chat, obviously, what you do outside of work. And we got chatting about my charity, and Paul here actually deals with mentoring, but within the mental health, within the workspace, but with mental health. And I really wanted to actually bring a conversation to my audience, or our audience, about that. So, mate, I guess we were just talking off there. How did you sort of fall into what you do?
So my background's been corporate finance. I spent 20 years, I'm a CPA, and I spent 20 years working in the finance strategy leadership area. Working in corporate was 14-hour days, high stress. Direction was, I'm doing a lot of hours, I'm not really getting the most out of me, pushing my friends away, pushing everyone away, and burnt out. Decided that I needed to change, and was getting paid really good money, and I had to make a decision. It was either continue down the path of having everyone around me tell me what I couldn't see, or choose to decide to step out and go, what do I need to change, because what I was doing wasn't working. Mm-hmm. So for me, at that point, it was a decision to step out and go, well, how do I look at what I've been doing, what I want to do, and what do I love? And my passion's about helping people. Through, whether it's through charity work, whether it's through helping people get from where they are to where they want to get to. So from a corporate work point of view, I had lost all of that. I wasn't able to see how I was getting that benefit from working in the environment that I was working in.
And what were some of the characteristics that, obviously, when you're working in corporate, that from a mental health perspective, that you just knew this wasn't right? What were you feeling?
So I was doing 14-hour days average. I was accepting invitations to go to things with friends, but then I would send them a text message at 7 o'clock at night saying I'll be there in an hour, and at 10 o'clock at night I'd send them another one saying sorry for not getting there, but I'm still at work. So that was one. My family were ringing me 2 or 3 times a week just to make sure that I was eating right, and I was looking after myself, and because they were concerned about me. And I was going out of my social circle, and my social circle became me, and the people that were really that I was interacting with, which wasn't quality. So for me, it was realizing that within the work environment, I was highly stressed. I was turning from being the person that is the laid back, happy, enjoying life, have some fun, but work hard. I'd gone away from that, and I was the stressed person that was just not enjoying doing what they were doing.
And were you finding, I guess, your work environment was affecting your personal environment as well? Were you sort of carrying that on at home and then into the weekends type thing?
Well, my work and my home life, I couldn't change between the two because I was taking everything home with me. I was, I wasn't leaving the office at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening and going, right, I'm done, away I go. It was, right, I'm on the city cat home, I've got emails, I've got things to do, I get home, and then I wasn't able to switch off, and then I'd be up late doing whatever I was doing, so it wouldn't give me the opportunity to switch off, and then I'd be up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm back into the office. So
Just Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
somewhat.
when do you get time to switch off and recharge your batteries?
Yep.
So then on weekends it was, Friday night I'd have a few beers and wake up Saturday morning and I'd go, oh well, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah. And what was the ultimate trigger then? Because obviously there must have been something where you went, "No, stuff this, I've got to do something different." What was that trigger for you?
The defining moment for me was I'd done 4 20-hour days in a row.
Yep.
And I sat having lunch by myself and I just went, enough.
Yep.
I can't do this anymore.
Yep.
That was it. And I walked in and I had a chat to my boss and said, look, I love the relationship we have with work and whatever, but I said, but I just can't do this because it's this is not going to end well if I don't change.
Yep.
And to be able to change and stay in the environment that I was in at that point wasn't possible.
Yep.
So I saw that it wasn't possible. So I then went, enough. I need to step out and do something else and make a change. So
it's amazing how, like, when you start to look after yourself, other areas start to thrive.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've obviously hit that point where you weren't looking after yourself, but you're looking after work all the time.
Yeah.
And then you've made this choice.
And it was,
taking that step.
As they say, people that I speak to now, I say I had a high-paying job, and I decided to leave with no prospects, no anything. But at the same time, had I have not made that choice, then I wouldn't be in the frame that I am now to be able to do what I'm doing to help people.
Yeah.
I would be in a totally different headspace. So for me, it was a decision that I had to make, and once I made it, I stepped back and looked at all the people around me that were always there, but I couldn't see them because I was wrapped up in me, and it was all about me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about all of the relationships that I had with friends, family, to me meant they weren't relationships. It was just me being wrapped up in me, and I had people around me, but I couldn't see that they just wanted the best for me.
And mate, from your experience now being a mentor coach, like, how important is good mental health in the workspace to you?
You look at the statistics and the amount of reported mental health cases is on the rise, which in one way is good because we're actually recognising that it is something that
Becoming
is
aware.
Yeah, that's right. So once you see the statistics rising, it's not good to say that it's becoming an issue, but at the same time, it's one of those things that people don't want to talk about it because there is a stigma around the way that people think, and it's huge. So from a work environment point of view, you look at it, and if someone has a performance issue at work, who do they go and speak to? Is it HR? Is it your boss? Is it or do they feel comfortable having that conversation? Is that a conversation, if they don't feel comfortable in the workplace, do they talk to someone at home? But other people at home, are they equipped to be able to have those conversations?
Yeah. And from your experience, if someone is out there and you are having mental health problems at work, what is, I guess, your advice to them? What is some steps they could do to improve that situation?
For me, it's just to take 20 minutes, half an hour, to sit and think about why you do what you do.
Yep.
You read all the books and everything about what is your why, but how often do we sit and we think, well, why do I do what I do? Mm-hmm. Do I love doing what I do? Or am I doing it because I'm either getting paid well or I have to do it? And at that point, you can then step back and say, okay, well, I'm forced to do it because of these reasons, or you know what? I have a choice to do that.
Yep.
I can choose to either work where I am, or I can change it and I can go, oh, I'd like to do something else that I love to do. Now, I know that's not easy.
Yeah.
At the same time, there also is the option to make those choices.
Yes.
But it's not until you sit back, think about what you really want to do, and then think about the people around you who can actually also be in the boat with you to help you get to where you want to get to.
It's interesting because we talked about choice off camera as well. Like, we all have a choice to do whatever we want, isn't it? And then at work, having that mental health choice is an important thing. Like, it's not always about you, is it?
No. So you work, for example, you work in a team.
Yep.
There are team dynamics, and ultimately, I always use the analogy or the metaphor of, you've got a Ferrari that has the capacity to drive at 300 kilometres an hour, but if it has one of those shitty little spare tyres, it can't go at 300 kilometres an hour. So how do you go about changing that spare tyre to make sure it's the same as the others? And to do that, it's looking at what avenues people have to have a conversation around what's affecting their performance. And I think we're finding that people are now more willing to have conversations around things that may not be work related but are impacting them at work.
Yep.
Because the old story, leave everything else at the door when you get to work. Well, when there's things outside of work that are impacting your thought process, it's really difficult when you're in stressful situations and you've got the school rings up and says that Johnny's sick, can you come and pick him up? And so, well, I can't because I've got this stress and that stress. And so it's about looking at how you go about taking you and what impacts you, and either if there's something that's not working, look at it and say, how can I change it?
Yeah.
And if the change is speaking to someone about what you're experiencing, then that's an avenue that employers should offer to their employees.
Yep.
Do they offer that at the moment? I think there's a gap.
And that actually brings up my next question. Where do you think workplaces are somewhat going wrong when it comes to sort of mental health in the workspace?
I think it's...
Or something that could improve, perhaps.
Yeah. I suppose looking at giving people the opportunity to have conversations that may not necessarily be about work as such. So if I'm, two ends of the spectrum. If I'm flying and I'm doing a great job and I want to get better, then there are potentially opportunities for people to be able to talk to mentors or whatever about, right, I want to get to the next level. So everyone wants to jump in and go, you're doing a great job, let's help you get to the next level. But if someone's not necessarily getting to where they want to get to, is everyone else in the same situation? Let's jump in and let's give you the opportunity to have a conversation. It's like we have this innate ability to look at the high achievers and go, let's look after them. Yep. Let's not help bring everyone up to another level. And how do you do that? Sometimes it's as easy as sitting, having a conversation, giving them the opportunity to be able to say, you know what, there's some stuff that's going on, give them a different perspective, not solve things, not just sit and listen and have a conversation with them around what they're going through.
Yeah.
Gives people then an opportunity to think, well, I'm actually not alone because I've just had a conversation with someone and they may have an experience that they've gone through, or they know someone who's been through something similar.
Yep.
And we get very focused on what do we do, and that's what we see. Walk into a room and I'll see someone who's got a flash watch, someone else will see they've got nice shoes, same person, but we see things differently.
I have a feeling like I'm hearing sort of try and humanise the workspace. Yes, we're there to do a job, but at the same time, if we want our job to be more productive or whatever, also find out what's going outside of the work sphere. Yeah.
We spend, how many hours do we spend a day at work? So let's say we spend, 10 hours a day at work. In what other scenario do you spend 10 hours with the same people day in, day out?
Correct. Yeah.
You don't. Yeah. So if you're going to spend 10 hours in an environment where you have the same people day in, day out, and you notice that someone may not be firing on all cylinders, simply it can be a matter of what's going on.
Are you okay type thing.
Let's have a conversation, or you want to go and have a coffee. It's like you just seem a bit flat. Is there anything I can do? Or teams are like family. You look after each other, and if you're not in a situation where things are going right, or there might be something that's worrying you, it's it doesn't have to be an external person. It doesn't have to be. It can be someone in your own team. You care about the people you spend 10 hours a day with. It's like, hey, you're all right. Do you want to have a chat? Or what's going on? And blokes, we're horrible. Let's be honest. Come on. When was the last time a bloke sat there and said to someone else, "Hey mate, do you fancy a coffee? I've got a couple of bits and pieces going on that's, I'm not really, haven't got really going on here." It's like, have you got 15, 20 minutes? Yeah, sure. Go and have a coffee.
And that comes back to communication. I guess talking about what's going on, either at home or obviously how you're feeling. But us men, we tend to.
We're hopeless. Let's be honest. Come on,
women, you're amazing.
Ladies, you are outstanding. You talk awesomely. Us, we suck.
Mate, just I guess in terms of the work sphere and groups, like getting everyone on that same page, I guess, together, all goal driven. What's sort of your advice towards that?
Everyone's different.
Yep.
At the same time, if you've got a team environment, ultimately the people at the top will have a direction of where they want to go. Mm-hmm. Now, they can have a direction and then the team can go, well, we don't care about that direction, so are they going to be motivated? Not really. However, if you include them in the direction of, okay, well, this is where we want to go, tell us where you would like to go, and then we can go, right, okay, well, let's see how there might be certain strengths. You give someone that hates selling a selling job, it's like, well, gee, that's going to motivate them. Or you give people the opportunity to be able to grow and develop. I mean, personal development. How often do you sit there and go, I'd like to go and sit in a seminar and learn about mental health, or learn about ways to become productive, or leadership, and you just think, that'd make me a better person, because I would more fully understand the dynamics of what's going on at the next level. So I go, oh, okay, well, they kind of understand, as opposed to the team sits there and goes, well, no, we want it to be all about us.
Yeah.
But as an organisation, you've got people sitting here going, well, this is the direction we want, and then the team sitting there going, well, we don't buy into that.
Yeah.
How does that help us? Because we're driven by different things. So I suppose open communication is massive. If you can have people that are on the same page, I did a goals workshop yesterday with a team in Toowong, and we turned up and it was 2 goals. And that was the start of it. An hour later, we had 17.
Yeah, right.
And that was by having the team sitting around going, okay, well, what would you like to do? What would you like to do? And there were a lot of aha moments. We hadn't thought about that. We hadn't thought about that. So
it's amazing that communication, what it can bring out,
it's
within the group.
Talking to people.
Yeah.
Gee, who would have thought?
And did you find that people getting to learn each other as well then brought out sort of those aha moments?
Yeah.
People start saying, hey, I'm good at this, I'm not so good at that. Cool.
I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's about that coming back to trust.
Yeah.
We talk about BNI, but in terms of it's building the trust, and how do you build the trust? And you talk to each other.
Yeah.
You get to find out what your strengths are, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, and then you find out about me. And it's like, well, maybe there's an opportunity for us to, I'd like to do this. Well, you could do that, I could do this, and depending on how we go, we can either swap it around, or we can, but we're growing because we're doing things that are actually going to challenge us.
Yeah.
But it's also going to give us the opportunity to grow.
And having that trust in the team that you're working with, having that open communication is only going to take less stress off you.
Agree.
Create a better environment, which is going to be better for your mental health, but then also the mental health of the team.
Yeah. So you're working in an environment with people that care about each other, that are willing to help each other out to get through the challenging times, to ensure that we go up, we go down.
Yeah. Correct.
Show me a person that's always happy.
Yep.
And okay. But generally that's me.
And
I'm the happy bloke that walks into the room and talks to everyone. But I have my down days.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And don't we all?
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Oh.
And actually, because we'll sort of wrap it up, because we could talk on forever. I know that.
For hours.
But one thing we actually just talked about before was breathe. You walked into a room yesterday that said breathe on it, and we just started nodding our heads together. No matter what your scenario is, stressful or unstressful or happy or unhappy, just taking that one deep conscious breath can really help.
Oh, and how often do we do it?
Yeah.
We don't. You wake up in the morning, 9 times out of 10, someone will pick up a phone and start reading their emails.
Yes.
And checking Facebook and looking at Insta and your Snapchats and all that sort of stuff. It's like, oh gee, everyone's doing all these great things or whatever, but that doesn't really help you because your day doesn't start until your day starts. So you're sitting there going, and then what do? It's just sit, drop your shoulders, take a couple of deep breaths and go, righto, come on day, throw yourself at me because today's going to be an awesome day.
And we're here in Brisbane, Australia, if you're watching this, and running into Paul this morning. He was doing the walk here, and we were just commenting about the river and the bridge and just being outside. It's those small things when you start to appreciate that does, I guess, lift your mood. So, Paul, how do people find you?
So I'm on Facebook.
Yep.
The company that I work through is Mentoris.
Awesome.
The website's www.mentorisgroup.com.au.
Yep.
And as you can see, I love to talk, and stuff I'm passionate about.
Yep.
I'll talk, and if there are any opportunities to have a conversation or you want to know anything, then just give me a shout. And
I've really enjoyed the connection that I've made with Paul. It's very real. It's kind of nice. Obviously, when you're blokes, you sometimes have your guard up, but it's been really, really good. You coming to the walk, mate?
I am. So I was there last year, and I loved it. So literally over the bridge. Yeah. There's I've got a number of other people that have also said that they're going to be walking this year. So
So Sunday, the 8th of October, 2017. Registrations are actually open.
Yep.
You can pre-register. You can actually get an early bird price. Save yourself $5. It's a coffee. Walkforawareness.org.au. You can check us out there. Paul.
Mate,
awesome. Thank you very much. And I hope you've gotten something out of this conversation. Please like and share. We are talking about that mental health within the workspace, and I guess how to improve that. And it all starts with a choice. It's yours. That choice, beautifully, is yours to decide. Now we'll see you there at the walk. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
Have an awesome Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, mate.